Today, we look at the main event for UFC on ESPN Plus 38. UFC on ESPN Plus 38 takes place Saturday at Flash Forum at Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. The card streams on ESPN Plus. Despite being known for his dangerous ground game, Brian Ortega has continually shown measurable strides in his striking. Consistently keeping light on his toes, the 10-year pro stays ready to throw or move with his opposition, steadily setting the temperature to apply his pressuring approach. Working behind a healthy dose of feints, Ortega will flick out jabs from either stance, almost like a flint lighter for the fires that he is attempting to start. And once Ortega gets going, he puts his punches together nicely, variating well to the body while punctuating his presence with accurate uppercuts and knees. Still, despite adding useful tools like checking elbows, defense has not necessarily been Ortega's strong suit, particularly to the body, as I will be curious to see what his potential adjustments and general approach looks like against a savvy striker who can emphatically counter. Enter Chan Sung Jung. Earning the moniker of the Korean zombie for the relentless pressure fighting he stepped onto the WEC stage with, Jung embodies the spirit of his proud country of South Korea. Coming from a kickboxing and traditional martial arts base, Jung confidently presses through space, almost inviting his opposition in. And once he can corral his target between the cage and inner black octagon lines, Jung morphs into a non-disseminating offensive marauder, going to work on any piece of flesh that becomes available. Whether he is slipping and returning slick uppercut hook variations, or unleashing flying knees up the center, Jung offers plenty of offense inside the pocket that his opposition has to respect. That said, if Jung cannot force this fight into his preferred terms, then he may run the risk of following around a foe who is possibly more fleet of foot. Considering each fighter's deadly acumen from the front headlock position, I will be curious to see how eager either party will be in regards to pursuing takedowns. Although the stats will tell you that Jung has a slightly higher propensity to initiate takedowns in fights, I'm of the belief that Ortega is the more likely man to shoot from both a styles and trends perspective, as I warn anyone who lives and dies by on-paper statistics. But regardless of whether or not I'm right, I suspect that even Ortega may think twice before changing his level in the open. Before we finish the video, if you enjoyed this content, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to get the latest videos from MMA on the go. Although he carries no official rank in jiu-jitsu, Jung is a treacherous transitional threat who can turn the tide of a fight off of just one bad shot. Predicating most of his offense from the front headlock position, Jung has a plethora of front choke threats that he can chain to back takes, which is ultimately another position where the Korean fighter comes to life from. However, given that the submission realm is a place where his current opposition tends to stage comebacks from, then perhaps Jung may be hesitant to engage himself. By now, the secret has long been out on the grappling phenom from the Gracie Torrance Academy. As we saw in Ortega's first few fights under the UFC banner, his transitional grappling was already at a very high level, displaying a deceptive process to his jiu-jitsu prowess. Not afraid to fight from his back, Ortega has little issue in succeeding position off of failed takedown attempts or even going for high-risk attacks. And should his opponents follow the Gracie black belt to the floor, they often get more than they bargained for. Bearing a submission game that can make you feel like you're fighting a mythological hydra, Ortega can turn calm waters into sea storms in a flash. Once inside of Ortega's grasp, the Gracie fighter immediately goes to work by giving his opposition multiple problems to deal with while chaining from submission to submission, even altering positional terms when applicable. In Ortega's last fight opposite an elite striker in Max Holloway, we saw him get after grappling opportunities a lot more than usual, as I would not be surprised to see efforts funneled in a similar direction for this fight. The odds makers and public are siding with the South Korean fighter, listing Jung -185 and Ortega +160 as of this writing. Although Ortega is not a fighter you should ever count out, I can't say that I'm surprised by the betting spread above. Not only is Ortega coming off of a 23-month layoff, but he is also coming off of his first professional loss, which was a brutal one, at the hands of Max Holloway.